In my mind, I'm thinking if he gets a decent run of games and he starts to feel like everyone at that level believes in him, then he'll fly. And touch wood, no bad injuries, and that's been the case. You know, he's stayed relatively fit. He's got stronger. He keeps learning. He's had loads of opportunities from the manager there. They believe in him. He knows that, and I think he's responded really well. And he's proven himself now to be a real talent in the Premier League.
Yeah, you know, I think it was my stepdad that's told me, and he was just like, there's this team, Huddersfield Town, and obviously at the time I have never heard about it before, but so I remember when I went on FIFA to see, you know, what players they have, anyone I knew. I don't think they had, but you know, I just knew it was just below Premier League, and I thought it can't be a bad place, so came here, and you know, everything turned out well. It was always my dream to play in England, and too far in that game I didn't actually know there was anyone watching the game. So yeah, I just went into the game, didn't know anything, and then it was first after the game I knew I think there was a Scottish scout at the time who wanted me and 3 other people to come in for a week's trial here. And for me, that was, you know, I just knew it was England, so it was pretty straight up for me. I just wanted to go, to be honest. Like my mum obviously always been there for me, my dad as well, my sister, brother. You know, leaving them at such a young age wasn't easy, and I still, you know, missed them. But then they knew it was always football. So yeah, I got used to it, and I still come over, visit whenever. So, but yeah, I'll say I've never been the guy that's, you know, get homesick, never ever. But there's been periods where you miss them, and but yeah, you just gotta get on with it, because at the end of the day you're over here to play football, and that's, you know, they're no longer further away than a phone call, so that was easy.
I mean, basically, I think I was perhaps Phil's academy mum for the first 12 months. I wouldn't lay claim to that now, and I don't think he'd thank me for that now. But certainly for the first 12 months, you know, in terms of getting him in, getting him settled, finding him some accommodation, putting him with a family who we knew would look after him. We all played our part with that, and you know, other staff, Karen Jagger again downstairs, she was really instrumental in keeping things tight and making sure he was looked after, and the transport was always right for him, and basically everybody did everything they could to help him.
I knew what I wanted. I knew it was English football, and you know, it's like it's not only been good times. You know, it's been some tough times as well. As a young player, you're always gonna have tough times, but it's how you get out of that. If you get out on top and, you know, positive, then you'll be fine. But if you know, in the youth, if you start, you know, not playing well or anything, and you let it bother you, then I've seen a lot of players, Danish players as well, who's come over here or other countries, who's gone back to Denmark to play. And you know, I didn't want that to be me. You know, I wanted to play football over here, and you know, for that dream I still have, and you know, that's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, coming in, I mean, seeing him for the first time, he came over obviously from Denmark with 3 other lads, and the first thing that obviously strikes you is his size, his presence. Even then, before you see him go on the pitch, you know, he's 6'3", with the hair and, you know, a certain way about him. So you thought, yeah, let's have a look. And then obviously the first time you see him train, it was down at Leeds Road in the mud, to be honest. But straight away, you know, he can't hide his talent. Great left foot, good aura about him, like I've mentioned. But the big thing for me was a real calmness. Now, sometimes calm can be laid back and sloppy, but his calmness was just an assuredness and a confidence, and a bit of an elegance about how he moved. So they were the things that stood out straight away, for sure. I think, you know, coming over here at 16 from a different country, and the language thing initially, you've got to have that belief, but you quickly need to be surrounded by people who believe in you as well, because if you do start losing that, the whole the whole thing becomes really difficult. And I think along the pathway, you know, myself and Frankie always believed in him, always pushed him.
Without, you know, Tony, Karen, you know, Cam Cross and Karen Jagger, Frankie, you know, those people, Mark Lillis as well, who was here at the time, I probably wouldn't be where I am now, you know, that just because I was, as a young player, you know, lazy, you know, it was more, I find it hard to, you know, work without the ball on the pitch. You know, I was always used to, you know, have the ball and, you know, play football, and I had to learn the kind of English side of the game, that you have to be as good without the ball and, you know, as you are with the ball. And, you know, I'm still learning that today. I'm getting better, but without them, for sure, I wouldn't be where I am now. They helped me a lot, especially Frankie with that on that side of the game. You know, got like the aggressive side into me, and, you know, I've never been an aggressive player, but I had to learn that.
It's a different type of football over here to what you're used to. You know, maybe in Denmark culture, it's a different pace of game, and it was really trying to shift his perception of what hard work was. So he might think, I am working hard, and I'd be saying, no, you're not. You just think you are. You don't quite know what hard work looks like yet. We've got to teach you and show you. And you know, you talk to him about the elite players at the top of the game, and try and get an understanding of how hard they work to get to where they are. And then linking it back to our game and Huddersfield and the philosophy about what we need, him and his role in midfield, and just putting demands on him and challenges all the time.
To be fair, I just remember warming up, and I think Mark Robbins at the time was the manager, and I warming up, looked at the game, a bit nervous, you know. I think it's the second time on the bench, and then we see, you know, he waved me down, and I remember coming down to the dugout, and he sat me down and said, I don't remember what player, but one of the Leicester players said, you know, he has a lot of space on the pitch, and I had to, like, not man mark him, but, you know, make sure he didn't have that much time on the ball. So, you know, he was pretty easy with me as well. Just when said, you know, go on and just play football, don't think about anything. And I think it was only 15 minutes, so it's hard to, you know, do anything in those 15 minutes. But, you know, I enjoyed it. It's a big moment for me and my family. That's something I dreamed of since I was a kid, you know, to make my debut, and it finally came back then, and yeah, it was good, man. I just remember, I think we were 1-0 up at the time, and I just, yeah, hit, I think, I don't know, 30, 35 yards out, and I had the space, and I think I had like 2 or 3 shots before that, where one was like missed. I think all of them had like missed the target, and I just thought, you know, third time lucky, and I took the shot, and I just saw it move, and yeah, I think the goalkeeper was just, I would say he didn't have a chance, but it's pretty like in the middle of the goal, but I think he moved towards the right, and he went in, and at the time, like the second, I couldn't actually believe it, so I didn't know what to do, so I just ran towards the fence and made the classic knee slide, and, you know, everybody else came and, you know, congratulated me on the goal, and I think won that game 2-0 as well. So, you know, it's a good, important goal as well, you know, to close the game. So yeah, it's a good afternoon away at Nottingham. As always, obviously had injuries. As a young player, you get injuries. Well, not only a young player, like as all you know, athletes get injuries, and it's a frustrating time. And I've had one last season, obviously, with my operation, and before that, I think I had an ankle injury as well. So, you know, I played games. The season we got promoted to the championship, but both seasons in the champ where, you know, I was, you know, playing, I would have wished to play more. But that's all up to myself as well. You know, my attitude, everything. You know, I always have to have in mind I have to work hard. You know, nothing comes easy. So that's one thing I've had the side of me, but I think a bit of, you know, laziness, if you can say, has kind of held me back. You know, kind of just letting myself down. Obviously, injuries, you can't do anything about that. That's just stay positive and bounce back. And but you know, the times I haven't played, because I know what the manager thinks of me. I know, you know, the potential and the quality I have, the ability I have. but it's just about believing in yourself and, you know, go out and show it every game, and that's what I have to do.
First of all, he's Danish, and he's not a guy that you hear a lot about, but really a guy who, with his size and his technical abilities, he's really a unicorn when it comes to abilities and talent and potential. So I was quite impressed when I saw him. Still am very impressed the way he started this season. It's been great, and hopefully he'll build upon that.
I think it's the first, you know, obviously for 4 games, and I've completed 90 minutes. Been some tough 90 minutes as well, some of them. But it's all about getting the minutes in for me, and when I do that, then I'll get used to playing 90 minutes, and hopefully further in the season I'll be able to play 90 minutes without any problems. But you know, it's easy. It's early to say the 4 first games. Still a long season. Still have to grind hard, work hard. But for sure, as you know, I'm happy with my first 4 games. But you know, still a lot of games. So I don't want to sit here and say, you know, it's been a good start to the season. Yes, personally, but obviously, I did wish we had maybe a few more points on board. But I'm sure that will come. It's a lot to. Obviously, I want to play in the World Cup, help Huddersfield stay in the Premier League. For me, this club, where it's going, I think it deserves to be in the Premier League for everything it's, you know, been through, and you know, the hard work, us players, the fans, you know, all the people around the club has put into it. So I think they deserve, you know, to be a established Premier League club.
Undoubted, he's got massive qualities. From coming from an academy player to come through into the first team, it doesn't happen a lot, and hopefully he can set an example for the young lads coming through now.
Philip's the blueprint for what we want to do in the future with the academy, and the idea is to sign players at 16, just like Philip, either international players or from England. And essentially that's what we're trying to achieve, is advance them from 16, get them used to the Terriers' identity and what we're about, and try progress them to the first team.